What's up, guys? Dylan here from Veteran Aquatics, and today I am tearing down my fish room. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in a minute. Got my Mayan cichlid. They're also known as false red terrors. Then these two Oscars. The other Oscar's under there, a little feisty, so I had to put a lid on it. But yeah, they're going to the new home soon. Not gonna be in here anymore. None of these fish are gonna be in here after today. I'm tearing down the entire thing, all of it, all the tanks, all of it, all the fish. They're going. Everything goes today and tomorrow. Alright guys, so if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I love this hobby, right? And I just bought a ton of fish. I have some awesome fish. I have some big fish. I also have some big tanks. Behind me are 225 gallons. Out in the living room I have a 220 with a stand. Today, it all goes. Because it's finally time to move out. It is finally moving day. So I need to load the truck with the last tanks I have. All the fish are going in buckets with air stones or sponge filters, so they'll be good overnight. Tomorrow morning on our way out, I will load them in the truck. We're gonna go do our clothes, and I got a bunch of guys coming over to help me move furniture and to get the tanks set back up. So I will try to record that if I can. So I'm sorry if you're new to the channel, you didn't know I was gonna move. A little baity. That said though, I'm tearing down the fish room. So let's talk about it for a second. Let's talk about what tearing down a fish room is actually like for somebody that has a lot of tanks and a lot of big tanks. So in the 125 that's down below here, there's a lot of fish. I bought Home Depot out of buckets and lids yesterday. I guess people have been buying buckets, but I bought 16 buckets. They only had 6 lids. So I'm going to have to go out later tonight and either go to a Lowe's or a different Home Depot and see if I can't get any more 5-gallon bucket lids. But let's talk about moving fish for a second. Look at all those buckets on top of the 5 more I already have in the fish room. Man, moving fish is not fun. But moving tanks is even worse. That is Poof. She is one of my 3 cats. She's very fat and so soft. But yeah, this thing is a monster. It's so heavy. Like, to give you an idea, there's my finger. That glass is thick. This thing is huge. And there have been kitties in here. I don't know how they'd even get in here, but I suppose I could have jumped on the cat carrier. But yeah, we're going to move this beast out of here, along with everything else. So like I showed you before, sponge filters, they have airline. Don't mind the big Oscar, he's moping, he's perfectly fine. But yeah, so moving big fish especially, and these guys are going to sit in these buckets overnight, because I need to get the truck loaded today. The fish will sit out in the fish room so they stay warm, and then tomorrow morning on our way out I will load them into the truck as well. So I'm only moving 2.5 hours away, and if it was I can catch the fish, put the fish in a bag and leave, they'd be fine, right? Fish get shipped, probably not the big ones. I wouldn't do that with the big ones. They'd run out of oxygen, or you would need an enormous bag. But if I was just leaving the house with the fish in the bag, no problem. But since they're going to sit overnight and I need to take the tanks down today, they all have to go in buckets with either air stones or sponge filters. I'm using sponge filters for the bigger fish, just because, bigger fish create more waste, create more ammonia, breathe up more oxygen. I want there to be some beneficial bacteria in the bucket to eat up some of that ammonia, so that way the fish doesn't get ammonia poisoning and die. So they'll all be in buckets with air stones. The truck that I'm renting has power hookups, so they will continue to have air stones for the entire duration of the trip. Like I said, I have 16 buckets, right? So there's 3. Fluffy will be a 4th. And I'll probably divvy the Africans up into 2 buckets. The Cory catfish I have will go in a bucket. If you guys don't know, Cory catfish can release a toxin when they're stressed, and that toxin can kill your fish. So they'll go in their own bucket. I don't want to risk the lives of my other fish. But I probably have 10 or so Corys. And then like the angelfish, the rainbow fish, the Denison's barb, the Congo tetra, and wherever. Oh, there's the little Apistogramma McMasteri, and the zebra pleco will probably all go in their own in a bucket. Then the flower horns and the baby Oscar will go in a bucket. And then I move the guppies back down there to make room for the Africans. They'll go in their bucket. I already took the Stomatopia mariae, and they are in with the other Africans for now. They're doing fine. And then I'll just put the CPDs in with the guppies. So again, 5-gallon buckets, air stones or sponge filters, your best friend. Man, it's weird seeing these tanks empty. I don't like it. But the new fish room I'm going to build, so much better. I don't know what to do with the sheller fry. I'll probably just put them in their own bucket too. I have to say, tearing down tanks is not fun, and it kind of smells like a pond in here. Just from, you know, the exposed substrate and stuff like that. It's all wet. I'll have the dehumidifier running here in a minute to kind of soak up that extra moisture. And we're going to get the tanks out of here anyway. I'll give this room a good cleaning, and it'll be good to go. Tomorrow, it's going to be later in the afternoon when I finally get to unload the trucks. But the fish will be fine. The one Oscar down there was having a problem with the Mayan cichlid, so he's been in a bucket for 2 days, and he's perfectly fine. So we'll get the trucks unloaded. We will get most of the tanks that I have set up already set back up, just temporarily, just to hold the fish while I can work on building the fish room. So to talk a little bit more about that, I'm going to do a central air system running all the way around, which means I need to build sponge filters, I need PVC, I need a linear piston pump to run the air. So I'll show you guys how to do an enclosed air system. I will show you guys the pump, I will show you guys how I set up the PVC, all that good stuff. We may have to do 2 pumps. The garage is pretty big, and I do intend to have a lot of tanks. As you guys saw in my dark side of the hobby video, I have a ton of tanks ready to go. Right? So I'm going to need a lot of air to power all the filters that go with that. The 220 is probably going to go in my basement. The basement is not the fish room. I'll be using a garage for a fish room. The basement is kind of a man cave / pool room. The couple we're buying the house from was nice enough to leave us a really awesome pool table. So I think down there is a display tank. I may just put the Oscars in there and kind of just do like the Oscar community type thing just down in the pool room. So that's kind of it on the moving the fish. You know, if you can bag them and leave, you can just bag them, right? 3 parts air, or 3 parts water to 7 parts air, they'll be perfectly fine. But seeing as I have to pack them tonight, that's why they're getting the buckets, that's why they're getting the air stones and the sponge filters. I don't want to lose my fish, right? So we need to keep the water oxygenated so, again, they don't suffocate. Because that can happen. The fish will suffocate due to lack of oxygen. Especially the big fish, being that they're so much bigger, they will suck up that oxygen so much faster. So that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to, tell you guys that we're actually moving. And I'm actually going to start building the fish room soon, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's probably 8 a.m. right now. I've been up since 6, catching fish, draining tanks, cleaning up buckets and such. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done. I have people coming here shortly to help me load these big tanks. Even as big as I am, I still need at least one other person about as strong as me to move that 220. Not so easy to come by, so I have 3 other people coming. So we'll be alright. We'll get the 220 moved. We'll get these 125s moved. Then after that I can go a little bit slower because it'll just be me and my buddy. The only other big tank I have in here is that 90 tall with the Angels, and that's not too bad. I'd be able to move it by myself if it wasn't so tall. It's just kind of unwieldy to move. But again, that's it for today, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing so much awesome stuff, building an entire fish room. I'm going to get more fish, right? I found somebody that's taking their fish room down and they're getting out of the hobby. So my intention is to go scoop up what I can, especially now that I'm building a fish room. So tons more tanks, tons more fish, tons more DIY stuff. I'm going to be building stands, a central air system. I really need to try to do an auto water change system. I have too many tanks to do this with a Python. Yes, I can hook a power head up to it and it would work better, but I'm still not trying to do that tank by tank. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.